Um, how y'all doing out there today? Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday. Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining us today. I am just get in here, y'all. Get in here, get in here. Hurry up and get in here. I'm waiting on my co-host. She disappeared out the green room. Not sure where she went. But anyway, y'all get in here. Y'all get in here while we wait on my co-host to come back. We're so happy to be here again on another Thursday. Get in here, click like and share, you guys. Click like and share. Let me know you're in here. Let me know that you shared. Click like and share. Let me know you're in here. Get in here. Get in here. Y'all get in here. Ram, where you at? Where you at? Get in here. Get in here. Y'all get in here. Come on. Get in here. We got some good stuff for y'all tonight. We got some good stuff for y'all tonight. Yeah, okay. I just want to make sure I'm live, y'all. Get in here. Get in here. Get in here. We got a special guest tonight, Miss Tanya DeFreitas. Can't wait to hear all the good stuff she got to give us. And yeah, we just, want to just reconnect with y'all this week. Let's see what's going on this week. We got we got a lot of stuff going on. They didn't open back up our city. Like, what are they doing? I don't know. I don't know about y'all, but I don't know if they quite ready. Uh, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. That's real interesting. I think I think it's too soon, especially when they saying that we hey Ram, what you do, girl? Yeah.
It was just a black screen. It was just a black screen. So I was sitting here, I had to log out and come back in. I'm sorry.
Oh
Sorry.
yeah, you wasn't in my green room. Sorry. Yeah, I don't know what happened, but I was just talking about y'all get in here while we, welcome to another kitchen table talk. Happy Thursday, everybody. Get in here, get in here, get in here, get in here, get in here. Hurry up.
Yeah.
We got a lot of stuff. Come on in.
Get
I
in
was
here.
just, I was just talking about how they opening up um, the city already. I think it's a little too soon,
It's a very bad
but
idea. I don't think the numbers have dropped dramatic. I don't think there's been a dramatic change or drop in the numbers. Like it's not consistent, right? So we may have a
right,
day where it's dropped a few, but not a few, but like 30, 40 or whatever. But then it raised back up. So to
right,
me,
yeah,
there needs to be something that is an even playing field that is consistent before we even think about it. I don't know. I
right.
just think we're setting ourselves up, not we, but I think they're setting us up for failure because you already have people that are anxious to get out there. And so I just think it's a bad idea personally.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree. Um, Let me see. Okay. Um, yeah. So anyway, I was just trying to. Okay. You get feedback, Ram?
No, I'm not. I saw her message. No, I'm not.
Yeah. Oh Lord. Now this is listen, listen, listen.
Uh-uh. Uh-uh. No, ma'am.
He
No,
got
ma'am.
the wrong one. Yeah, that part. Hold on one second. Hold on one
So
second.
you guys, we're coming to you and we're trying to fix and work out this situation with the internet service. We definitely have some good information. We have a guest that is coming to provide some information that is going to be worth your while. So we hope that you grab a pen, grab some paper, be ready to jot down some notes. Like I said earlier, she is going to provide not, we say nuggets, but she is going to provide some jewels,
I have
right?
to do it.
And I think it'll be something that can be life changing. It'll be
Yes.
life changing if you give yourself permission to be open to it and be available to the information that she is going to provide. But we thank you for being patient with us right now. We're trying to work through something, but I think we're good.
Yeah, we definitely are. Ooh. Can y'all see me?
Yes.
Okay, all right. I just want to make sure y'all can see me because this is Lord have mercy, Jesus Christ. Why the devil always trying to mess up my show every week? I can't take this boy. Okay. All right. All right, I'm back. Let me get in the show. Okay, I'm back. Sorry, you guys. Sorry about that. Just trying to work out some difficulties. But anyway, yeah. The thing, and then opening up, I'm just not ready. I'm just not ready. But then, what if the whole buzz? We got a few minutes before we bring our guests on, but we're in the kitchen soup segment of it. But our the everybody's talking about the young man that was shot and killed in Georgia.
Ahmad. Yeah. What
Yes.
what what I am grateful for is that they have actually arrested the two guys.
Did they
Now
arrest him?
they did.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, that's good. But of course, there's going to be a fight. There's going to be a battle with that. But they're not going to go to trial, or they're not going to see the case the way that it should be seen until COVID-19 actually lifts up, which is fine as long as we know that they have looked at the video and they are considering doing something about it, right? I mean, it was obvious. I don't know if you've seen the video, but it was obvious that this guy was doing nothing. And then the father, he gave two different stories.
It was
And
multiple.
so that alone, yeah,
Yeah.
that alone is just, it's horrible. It's really horrible. And I'm like, at a time like this, we already have enough going on, right? And so to add something like this to the mix of what we're going through globally is just going to stir the pot up. And so we just have to be in prayer because there's a lot of things that we can be upset about and frustrated about, but it's not a lot that we can do,
Right.
hands-on wise. But it's definitely a sad situation and unfortunate. I feel very bad for the mother, for anyone that was, connected to him. We're connected to him, but I mean, like his blood family, his mother, his father, to have to
And
watch
all
that.
and all because this guy, the Gregory McMichaels or whatever his name was, him and his son. I mean, they talking about they was doing a citizen's arrest. Really? The boy running down the street. What kind of citizen's arrest was that? And he was
Well,
connected to the DA's attorney already. That's why they didn't kick it to three or two different DAs. Now they on the third one. It's
yeah,
gonna be some more shenanigans for real.
right.
Shenanigans for real. But anyway, I'm like, do all you can. I think they got a page. They want everybody to go to the page. Um,
I know the NAACP has, I think, is it NAACP? I believe so. Have something going on as well. So I will look that up. I read something. I'll look it up and I'll post it in the comments a little later.
yeah,
But we definitely want to support that. We want to support right, and we want to support what's right, regardless of his skin color. It's right and what's wrong. What's right and what's wrong. We want to support it. So
right. Yeah, definitely gotta support it. I mean, it's when it's true, I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. When is enough already? Like, but that's you know what? It's the tone that our leader has evoked in the nation. His tone, his rhetoric, he's giving them boldness. And y'all know when I say them, who I'm talking about, they get real bold, and they're just doing stuff, trying to take us all the way back over the years. That ain't happening. Not happening. But anyway, we'll move on. And I don't see what's going on here. But anyway, we're gonna move on. Didn't get the video loaded, sorry. But we can go ahead and welcome our guests. We're gonna bring our guests on right now because I don't wanna uh, uh, delay any more of the time because I know she got some good stuff to say. So I'm going to bring Miss Tanya DeFreitas on. Miss Tanya DeFreitas, welcome to the show. Welcome to the Kitchen Table Talk, where no
Thank
topic is too
you.
heavy for the table. We are so glad you decided to join us today. We know you could be doing a whole lot of other things, but we're glad you decided to stop by here and chat with us at the table.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, yes. Now I know our topic today is, I know because I've been going back and forth. I was all over the place with it, but the topic is gaining and maintaining the momentum, right? During COVID-19 or during
Wait,
and after. Wait.
wait. Before we get started, we must say happy birthday to our guest. Today is her birthday, you guys. Let's give her some love.
Thank you.
Love on her a
Yes,
little bit. Love on her a little
yes.
bit.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank
It
you.
is her
Thank
birthday,
you.
so we are not only are we celebrating her, what some things that she's going to share. Not only are we celebrating, the things that she is going to share, but we're also celebrating her life, another year here on this earth. And so we're just grateful that you are here
Yes.
to be a part of this. So thank you and happy birthday, Queen.
Thank you.
Y'all give her some birthday
Happy
love. Give
birthday.
her some
Thank
hearts.
you.
Give her
Thank
some
you.
hearts. Give her some birthday loves in the chat. Click like and share. Click like and share. If this information is
Yes.
not for you, please do share it. Somebody out there may need it. Don't be selfish. Don't keep it all to yourself. Please like it and share it. Give her happy birthday love. Miss Tanya DeFreitas, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Thank
I'm the
you.
author, writer, like just a woman of many hats.
Yes, yes, and yes. I don't even know where to start. I mean, I guess the first thing I need to do is give glory and honor to God, because without him I wouldn't be able to do any of it. And I am very open and transparent now about my day, where 2 years ago I attempted suicide because I was tired and fed up. So a lot of the hats that I wear now, I wasn't wearing then. I was wearing a lot of other hats and was just tired. A believer, a praying woman, and my journey is just that is from the weight of life and being weighed down by things that we go through. So, as introduced, I am an author. I am a self-published author. I'm a publisher. I'm a writing coach. I am a new financial coach. I've always had an interest in finances and investment, but now I have stepped into a new journey. We'll talk about that more later. That's a part of my gaining and maintaining momentum process over the last couple of months. But the hats were graciously given by God. It's not anything that I chose for myself. It's anything I would have chosen for myself. So that makes a difference. When you have a calling and a purpose to do something, you can try to run from it, but it'll chase you down and it'll tackle the center. And that's what has happened.
So you got tackled. You got tackled by the things that you knew that you were supposed to do, but you weren't doing it. Now, was that a result?
It wasn't so much I wasn't doing it.
Okay.
It was more so, I think we all go through a phase of trying to determine what our purpose is, trying to understand what it is and make sense of it.
Yeah.
And you might think it's one thing, and you have an idea of it. It's not until you find yourself on your journey, maybe avoiding some things, not intentionally, but just thinking, oh, I'm not supposed to do that, or that's not for me. But it will tackle you down. It will tackle you down.
Absolutely. Well, we're glad that you got tackled because we would not have the opportunity to know this Tanya, or not this Tanya as if you're a different person, but this side, this part of you, those things that you've been stretched to do and be. We wouldn't be able to have this type of conversation with you. And so tell us, was it a hard journey getting to all of what you've done, and then share with us what you've done? We're talking about gaining and maintaining. What have you gained in this COVID-19 season, and how do you plan to maintain it?
Okay. First question, was it hard? I almost cussed. In fact, I'm gonna say it just for emphasis. Hell yes. And when I say hell yes, no, but I'm sure you know hard. I have endured a lot of loss, a lot of heartache, a lot of disappointment, a lot of failed relationships, a lot of broken friendships, people that I thought would be with me forever, having to let them go or watch them walk away, people who promised to be there, seeing them turn their back, dealing with diagnosis from the doctors. I mean, it's been very challenging. There is a cost for the anointing. There is a cost for whatever our purpose is. And Tam, you and I talked about this before. You have to live it and learn it before you can teach it. So anything that I shared, anything that I've accomplished, anything that I'm able to pour out into someone else, I had to live it. And it was hard, including the suicide, having to go. I never thought, I mean, I had a girlfriend who was a minister. And when I first started having suicidal thoughts, I called her like, I've never had these thoughts before. I need you to pray. We need to fast. And she cut me off. Oh, we don't deal with those kind of issues. And if you can't conquer them, basically she suggested something to me spiritually. Now here I am, filled with the Holy Spirit, a woman of faith, a praying woman. But a friend of mine who's a minister is like, because you're having these thoughts, something's wrong with you, and I can't be your friend no more. So you know what I mean? So yeah, it was hard, very hard. I thank God for where I am today. I thank God even for, unfortunately, the things that have happened with COVID-19. It's been very devastating. We've lost a lot of lives, a lot of lives. There's been so much change in just the past 2 months all over the world. And so I think that needs to be a wake up call for those of us that are still here. It's a wake up call because tomorrow is not promised. And there are people saying, oh, I'll wait to write my book. I'll wait to start. I'll wait to live my purpose. I'll wait to go back to school. We can't wait anymore. You might not wake up tomorrow. How many people didn't wake up from last night? Thousands of people died in the last 24 hours. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so the reality of that needs to be applied. And I thank God, whatever it was that He put in me, that when I go from my manager, I'm an admissions advisor for a vocational college. And after the governor of California gave his announcement that he was issuing a stay-at-home order, we got a call that the campus was closed until further notice. And that was a Thursday. I could have slept in on Friday. I could have kicked back over the weekend to wait to see what was going to happen, apply for unemployment. And I'm not knocking anybody who chose to do that, but I stayed up late that night with a plan. My plan was, okay, we don't know how long this is going to go. I don't even know what any of this means, but I'm about to take advantage of this time. I'm about to take advantage of what this means. And that's what I did. And so from that time to this time, what's that, about a month and a week? So much has happened. So much has happened. Like, I don't even know where to begin. And I don't want to sound like I'm boasting, so I won't begin unless you just give me the push to do so. But I mean, more has happened from 19 to now than that has happened in my life in the last 2 years, literally.
Like what?
She said, like what? Well, let me start with, so from March 19th to now, let me say this. On March 19th, I had past due bills. Okay. I was living paycheck to paycheck. I didn't have any money in my savings account. My husband and I were facing a separation, and I'm about to get real and raw with y'all, completely transparent. My next check. So when the boss said they were closing the campus, I didn't worry, but it was still like, okay, well, how am I gonna pay these bills? I got to talk to this man that's not in his house no more to figure out how I'm gonna pay these bills. That was one of the thoughts, right? But the next thought was pray. And then the thought after that was use your gifts. What gifted you with? What has God enabled you to do that can bring resources into your home? I'm a writer. So between March 19th and today, I've launched 3 online writing courses. I've released 2 of my own books and 2 books by other authors that I've published. I have started my state training to become an insurance agent and to help with teaching families how to invest financially. I had 2 websites designed, one for myself as a speaker and author, another for my publishing company. I have 7 publishing contracts right now on my desk. I was still working for the college. They called me back and said, person on payroll, and we choose you. So I was working from home for the school, but still picked up my publishing company and took on these extra contracts, released the 2 plus launched the courses, plus released the websites. I mean, that's just like a sample of it. And remember how I said my bills were past due. Well, within 15 days of taking these steps, we're talking about gaining and maintaining momentum, right? Momentum is the force of speed. You have to decide what your force of speed is going to be. If you look, for example, look at track. If you take the sport of track, they start off slow. If you've ever noticed, you can start fast, but you're going to tire out. You got to pace yourself, right? And get out there and you jog and you speed up and you speed up and you keep going and you go for the kill. You go for the win, but you have to build up to it. You have to build up for it. So from that day to this day, not only did all my bills get caught up, but all my bills are paid. My bills were paid for the month of May before the month of May hit. The savings that I didn't have, I now have. Not only do I have a regular savings for liquid access, but I have an emergency fund. I have mutual funds. I have stocks. My stimulus check got stimulated. So my stimulus check got invested. And let me tell you, that money, listen. Again, transparency, $1,250 because I got $250 for my son, my card. But that $1,250 has already increased because it's an account that I prayed over. And it's already increased. I bought stocks. I didn't have stocks. I didn't know anything about stocks. I didn't know anything about investment. We're talking again about gaining and maintaining momentum. Maximize the time. Pay attention to what the wealthy people are doing. Poor people are buying TVs and buying clothes, sitting at home watching TV. And again, to each their own. But watch what the wealthy are doing. Wealthy were investing in areas that were dropping, companies that are dropping. Vegas dropping, airlines dropping, cruise lines dropping. But guess what? Oil companies, utility companies, they're going to go up again. So this is the time to invest. But if nobody's taught you that, you don't know to do it. I taught myself, started doing research. Just pay it. We have to pay attention. So again, with the gain in momentum, you got to look at your component or your opponent when you're jogging and you're picking up that space. What are they doing? Why are they going so slow? What do they know that I don't know? And how do I learn that? And so that's been my process. But at the core of it, it's not me in and of myself. It has been prayer. It has been, my prayer life has leveled up. My prayer time has increased. That's the foundation of everything. I'm not super religious. I'm not a Bible scholar, but I'm a woman of faith. I'm a woman who has a relationship with God. And I knew to go to him, give me wisdom, Lord. What do I need to do with this money? Where invest it? Who do I talk to? When an opportunity comes, you have to be ready. So when the opportunity was presented for me to study insurance sales and investment opportunities, I took it. You got to be ready. You know what I mean? And so I just thank God for being ready. For being ready.
For being ready. Stay ready. You ain't got to get ready. Well, let me,
exactly.
I'm like, you said a whole mouthful. Like I'm like in awe. Like literally in a month. Like you said, you have literally picked up the pace and got moving. I know I'm working with you on a project and writing a book. I won that little class through seeing you online. And so, I mean, already the experience has been amazing. I'm really loving it and making it really simple to do. You think writing a book, sometimes it just seems so overwhelming, or it has been for me. But working with you in that process so far has been making it seem really, really simple. It's early in the process, but so far it's been really, really good. Yeah, absolutely.
That's good.
So
That's good.
you can say something.
I know that Tanya, you said something earlier where you said do you budget your money or does your money budget you? And I thought that was like, I had to ask myself that, because I remember being in a place where my money was budgeting me, right? I was like, nope, can't do this, right? Because the money was guiding me and leading me, and not me leading and guiding the money. You know, they say, well, the Bible says that money is it says the love of money is the root of all evil. But some folks say money is the root of all evil, and that's not so. God has given us money so that it's a gateway. It helps us to expand what it is that He has given us, and afford us the opportunities to purchase. You know, it gives us purchasing power. It's just when we're doing the wrong thing with it, like allowing it to budget us and what we can and what we can do as a result of not being good stewards of it, then we are finding ourselves in positions like now in this COVID-19, where some folks have lost their jobs or they've lost hours, and they are literally struggling. They can't pay their bills, they can't pay their rent, they can't pay, different things as a result. And so what would be your recommendation, or how would you advise someone moving forward? Because we are where we're at now, right? But moving forward, how do you prepare for another pandemic financially?
So the first thing I would encourage, especially after we've endured what we've endured, is we can't rely on the world system. We can't rely on one source of income. You just can't, because so many people, their only source of income was their job, and when those companies was gone, there's no more income. But if you had multiple streams and other apps, still have some money coming in. It may not be as much as you were making on your job necessarily, but you'd still have some money coming in. So we have to look at ourselves, assess ourselves, and determine, what are my gifts? What are my skills? What am I passionate about? What can I easily do that can generate a source of revenue for me and my family? And whatever that is, do it. If you bake cakes, start baking cakes and selling them. And make us say, I don't care if you bake one cake a weekend, 2 cakes a month. That's an extra source of income. If you braid hair, braid a couple of heads a month and continue to do it. It's an extra source of income. And so we have to monetize on our own gifts and skills. The Bible says that your gifts will make room for you, and that God has given us the power to get wealth. So it's already in us that we need to be able to do what we need to do to be able to create those multiple streams of income. It's already in us. We have to tap into it and then run with it. We have to. Another suggestion I have is you have to make a sacrifice. So let me back up. When I share the testimony of being able to have, the investment accounts and the savings accounts and all these things I didn't have as of March 19th, just because I had it, I still had bills to pay, but I lowered what I could lower, rearranged what I could rearrange to make the sacrifice for money going in investment account every month. You can invest as little as $25 a month into an account that has interest of 9 or 10%. And make money off of that. $5 a month. How many of us eat out? How many of us have Starbucks? Or how many of us, pay for extra services or apps or gym memberships that we don't use? Reapply that money to make yourself some. And so I put on my list as priority investment accounts, insurance accounts. Those were first. Then the rest of the cell phone, those first. And guess what? They've been paid. And they've made money since they've been paid. And so we have to reevaluate our priorities. If your priority is Starbucks, then okay. But my priority would be Starbucks stock. How much is a share of Starbucks stock? Let me get in on the other side of Starbucks. You know what I mean? And it's also about, what are your lifetime goals or your lifelong goals? People want to be wealthy. People want to be rich. But what are you doing to line yourself up for that? What are you doing with your time? And listen, I like watching Paternity Court, okay? I don't know why. My husband has asked me why. I don't know why. I know who my kids' father are, and I'm not judging anybody who's ever had that experience where they like paternity court. So every now and then into and I'll watch an episode of paternity court. That's my downtime. That's my me time. I enjoy it. I might watch 2 or 3 episodes and then I'm back at the table. But I also know I can't do that all day. You know what I mean? I can't spend my whole day doing that because that's not investing in my growth. That's not investing in where I'm trying to go. And we have to become serious about the things that we say we want. You know how many people told me last year they wanted to write a book? I've talked to them this year and they still ain't started the book. Why? At least you got to start it. Start it. Like we get up and go to work.
Yeah, that's easier said than done.
Tina's gonna get her book done this year though.
Oh, I'm getting it done this year.
But let me tell you why it's not. It's not easier said than done. It's easier than we think. Or you say it's easier said than done, the more it will be. But just like we sitting here having this conversation, when you get off 15 minutes, 30 minutes, you have to make the time for what you want, or it's never going to happen.
Why?
So we make excuses. Do we make excuses when the boss say be here at 8 o'clock?
Yeah, sometimes. Let's just keep it real. Sometimes I do. I wasn't very good on attendance, but what I will say is, I think the time has afforded me, in the past, really trying to make me sit down is very, very difficult for me. So COVID did kind of put a pause in my life. Because of the nature of what I do, I'm always ripping and running. And so when I'm done ripping and running all day, my first stop on the way home, I'll stop at the bar and do a nightcap or something just to relax and unwind. But being at home now all day and just really not wanting to get out there and mingle, I have had a little bit more time to sit. Even with my project yesterday, it was just kind of like, let me think about this for real. What, why do I want to write this book? So it just kind of gave me time to sit and think about some things, and for that matter, catch up on a lot of my paperwork and all the things that we push to the side. So prioritization, I definitely agree with prioritizing. One other thing that I wanted to say, I just missed my thought, but prioritizing is one thing. And then about the stocks, I do know that I agree with you there. Invest in what you use every day. Invest in what you use every day. I mean, that's just something we are, as African Americans, we're not taught to do that. We're not taught to do that. And I had to self-teach myself. And like you say, where did I self? Corporate America, watching what they do and like, what's different? What are we doing different? What are we doing what are we doing different from them? And I start mimicking them and start, kind of watching the people at work, like in the summer, they take off for the summer and they travel abroad. And I'm like, wait a minute, we're doing something wrong. By the summertime, I ain't got no leave. So, we're doing something that we're not doing something right. So you're right. We got to prioritize things for sure. But the other question I had was, how do I keep that up? Now, I find a whole lot of time. That's why I got to get this done before COVID lifts. How do I keep that up once we get back out there on the grind when you don't have that time?
Right. Again, it goes back to what you and I both have said. It's prioritizing. How bad do you want it? People do what they really want to do. Pay for what they want to pay for, and people do what they want to do. Just like you said, you go to the bar because that's what you really want to do. If you really want to keep it up, you'll really keep it up. And I'm not saying that as anything negative. If you really sit and think about it, it is true. We do what we want. We make time, we make space, and we commit to what we want to do. People rely on jobs as their primary source of income. They can be working at a job that they hate. And like you said, they might be late. You might be late sometimes here and there, but you're not going to be any times where they write you up and fire you because you need that money. And that's what you want is they're there's a means to an end. I need my check, so I'm going to show up and do, even if it's just the bare minimum, to get my check. And so we have to think that way about ourselves, about our gifts, about our dreams, our businesses. I saw a post that says your 9 to 5. The 9 to 5 is building their business. The 6 to 11 is building yours. So when you get off, you have to sacrifice. And you have to invest in you just like you invest in them. Because when we go to work for these jobs and these companies, we're building their business.
Yeah.
Right.
We're making the billionaires more money. Even right now, let me say this, and I don't want President Trump or nobody, no politicians or nobody to come down on me, but the reality is this. Everything is opening back up. Cases have not been dropping. They're still increasing. But the people who make the most money are being affected. And the people who are making the money are sitting at home while they're sending us to work. Pay attention. You go work and make mama go to work. They don't care if we die. They don't care if we infect our family members because it's making them money.
Yeah.
Right.
Do you understand what I mean? And we have to be as diligent about our own visions because each one of us has a purpose. There is something we're assigned to do on this earth, and you have to figure out what it is and then do it. Everything that you need will be provided when you first step and get out and do it. With my first book, let me say this. I was a stay-at-home wife and mother, and my husband was taking care of everything. And there was no extra for me to publish. There was no extra, right? Just being real. So you know what I did? I asked my family and friends. I created a GoFundMe and just said, whatever. If you sold 20, I do publish it, I'll send you a copy. I raised $385 to publish my first book. That's how much it cost. And actually, it was about $360. But I raised it. I asked. We have to humble ourselves. It may or may not work, but you don't know until you ask. My husband was embarrassed. He thought I was crazy. Why are you asking people for money? Just wait. I'll know. Because what you're bringing in is taking care of the house, our date nights, and everything that we got going on. This is something outside of that I want to do. And you've already told me there's no extra to do it. So I'm going to figure out how to get it. And I figured out how to get it. And so we have to be diligent about our business, about our gifts, about the dreams and visions we have inside of us. And I don't know any other way to say it other than we have to sometimes self-motivate, self-inspire. Other people not going to always cheer you on and pat you on the back. Is that going to stop you? Right. Is that going to affect your momentum? Is it going to slow you down or get you out of the race? Or is it going to encourage you that you got to keep going no matter what?
So I know when I met you back a few months ago, you were definitely the author, the writer. Now, how did you become the money advisor, coach? What are you calling it, money coach?
We'll go with money coach for now. My ultimate goal is financial advisor. So I am
financial advisor.
Oh, financial advisor. Okay.
Yes. Financial advisors have degrees. I don't have the degree for that yet, but I do have a degree. It's just not in finance. But I'm working on my licenses and certifications to for those that need to see them to deem me qualified to give any advice that I give. Right. But
right.
Because God gives the gift. God gives the talent. But I'm a budgeter. And my mom has even recently reminded me that I have to save some money, okay? And I've had people give me their money to save their money for them. And I can stick to rules when it comes to budgeting. I had a situation back in 2014 where a dear friend of mine lost 2 children within 10 days. The first son was shot and killed, gang-related. 10 days later, his brother shot himself in the head because he felt helpless that he could not protect his little brother. So the family lost 2 young men, ages 19 and 21, in a 10-day period, and there was no life. Family wash cars, fry fish, and do everything they could to raise money to bury their children. In one instance, for the second son, the mother needed $500 to move his body from the mortuary and didn't have it. And was on Facebook crying and begging people for money to move her child's body. That was my wake-up call about the importance of creating an immediate estate for your family and making sure that you are insured, not even paid to bury her children. After that happened, I got on the phone with my car insurance company and I got life insurance. And I've had it ever since. But what a lot of people don't understand, the goal, it goes beyond just having life insurance. Our goal should be to be self-insured. I don't want to pay the insurance company for the rest of my life. I want to have enough money, enough capital in my accounts where I don't have to pay them. But when something happens to me or my children or family member, I just pull from my account and take care of the burial and funeral service. Period.
Right.
The money that I'm paying them, I could be investing, and that money could be, growing with interest, right? And so we have to learn the systems. We have to learn how to manage our money. And so my goal, my passion is to teach minorities, African Americans and Hispanics, and anybody else who want to know. My target is minorities because we're the ones who don't seem to know. We're the ones that I see on the corner with the signs. Pablo's car wash for his funeral,
Right.
Junebug's fish fry at the church, and it sounds funny, but it's real.
Right.
Oh yeah,
It's real, right?
it's real.
We can wear the best hair, Brazilian yaki. I don't know nothing about hair. We can do all that, and we got Gucci glasses, and the baby's wearing Jordan. But do they have emergency? Do they have life insurance? If that baby gets hit by a car tomorrow, can you pay for the funeral? This is serious business, and we don't realize it until it hits home and it affects us. We don't take it serious. Watching my friends go through, I don't want to see that no more. I don't like seeing GoFundMe's to bury somebody's child or their mother or whomever. And so I want to educate my family, my friends, and anyone else who is ready on what it means to create an immediate estate for your family, what it means to properly invest your money so that you can take care of what you need to take care of and you can do what you want to do. Just like they go on vacations every summer, Tina, we do it too. Why not?
Right.
Absolutely, definitely.
Right. We have life. I mean, not life insurance, but we have. I heard someone say we have insurance on these cell phones, but no insurance on our lives, and that right there is just super backwards, right? And I get it. Some folks think it's mandatory, but it's mandatory that we have life insurance because now we leave the family behind to do these things like raise money and do GoFundMe's and be out on the street doing car washes. Then that's just like so backwards to me. If you can have insurance on your cell phone, you definitely can have insurance on your life.
Or you should anyway. You definitely should, for sure. I mean, the important. I just wish we would get it as a people, though. The importance of managing our money. It is so important. Managing your credit, all of these things. Going by a car paying 21% interest. That's just ridiculous. It's ridiculous. You're double paying for the car, but they just think I drove.
We also have to remember, like we said earlier, we weren't taught these things. Yeah. So you don't know what you don't know, right? There's a lot of things that I learned in my late adult years that didn't mean much to me, growing up. My mom was good, has always been good with her money. She's always taught me if you don't have your name, you don't have anything. In other words, make sure your credit is good, right?
Right.
Where my dad was the total opposite. If he had the money and he wanted it, then we're buying it, right? There was no let's save for. It's just when it comes up and we want to do it, we'll make it happen somehow or another. But my mom is more so she pre-planned, she's proactive and not reactive. And so again, sometimes we just don't know what we don't know. So the 21% interest on a card to somebody, they don't care as long as I'm rolling off the lot with it, right? And everything else will blow up later down the line, but they didn't have the knowledge to do the math on that, to say, hey, wait a minute, I'm paying like $9,000, $8,000 more than what the car actually costs as a result of this interest. Yeah. But I'm driving it, but I'm rolling in my Mercedes-Benz.
Yeah, get mad when you don't want to co-sign. Whenever they ask me to co-sign, I say, well, why can't you sign for yourself? that's,
Yeah.
that's
Why
how.
do you need a code sign?
Yeah, yeah, because when they have to answer that question, because I fucked my credit up. Okay, so if you fucked yours up, what you gonna do to mine? That's the end of that conversation.
Yeah. That would end it.
That's ended.
Because
But
it makes you
okay,
look in the mirror at yourself.
right. So Miss Tanya, gosh, man, the time is gone so fast. We got like about 10 minutes left here. Like any questions that anybody got for Tanya, type in chat, type the questions in if you have any questions. We want to take advantage of some of this knowledge and information that she has to share. Anybody looking to write a book won't have questions about that. Type it in, so we can get it answered while we got her here, you know? So I know with mine, I am on day 2. Day 2. And I have to do it when I get off of here. Got to make the time to go do that part. Uh, but it's real. The steps you give are real easy though. You kind of like really ABCing it, so you can piece it all together at the end. Uh,
I think it has a lot to do with discipline, and so understanding that, just as Habakkuk 2:2 says, that write the vision and make it plain. Write your plan down. It's not. It starts with you. So if I'm writing something down and I see it, I am holding myself accountable before I am asking you to hold me accountable. And that goes with integrity. So what is your integrity like? If you are able to look at something that you have told yourself you are going to do and see it every day and still not do it, then now we want to look at your integrity about your own beliefs and your own goals, right? And again, it's like you said, it's not the easiest thing, but if it's something that you want to accomplish, and especially during this time, you can do it. You can do it. Write it down so that you can see it every single day. Your husband is there. He'll see it and he'll probably call you to the table on it. Like, Tina, aren't you supposed to be? Right?
you know what? I haven't even said that I'm writing yet.
Oh my God.
Well, it's only day 2, and I'm just kind of fiddling around with it. But as I begin to get into it, yeah, yeah.
But you need his support. You're gonna need his
Oh,
support.
he totally supports me.
I know.
Yeah.
Well, he support what he knows you need support in. If he don't know his wife is writing a book, a whole book,
Probably because I gotta make sure
Come on, Tina.
I gotta make sure I'm writing it first, because then he'll hold me accountable. That's me just now.
But you know what? Let me say something to that. My husband did not know that I was working on my book when I was working on it. In fact, I surprised my husband in 2018 with the money that I raised from my friends and family. Because remember, I shared he was embarrassed. He didn't want me to ask nobody for nothing. And so I sending it to me. I didn't even tell him. And I just tucked it in the savings account. And when he went to work, I got up and I typed. And I completed the manuscript for my book. I found someone to help me publish it. And everything down to ordering it was on Amazon, and I ordered a copy. He came home from work one day and I said, I have a present for you, and pulled my book from under his pillow. So he didn't know that I was writing. And I'm not encouraging that necessarily, but sometimes, like Tina said, you have to know that you're going to do it and follow through with it before you share it.
Right.
And so it does help to have someone hold you accountable. But sometimes it might be a friend, it might be someone outside the house, just to say, hey, Tina, let me help guide you, be your cheerleader and support you till you get to the finish line. And then you surprise your husband with it and you tell him that, like, I just didn't know if I was going to follow through. You know what I mean? But you said he's supportive. So just share it with him. This is an opportunity. You won the class. You won the class. You won the opportunity to take this class. And you're learning what I use as a practice to write my books. And I've published 33 times.
Right.
So it works.
Absolutely.
Okay. My first book, it took me 21 days to write. And I was in a class when I did that. But my second book, it took me maybe a week. And then my third and fourth book, it took me 8 days. Because once I got the routine down, that was it. And the last one that I released in February, memoir, is called Menopause. I wrote that book in 8 days, working full time at the college. So I was going to work and coming home and sitting down and typing. Saturday and Sunday, typing 8 days. And it was done and off to the editor.
Nice.
So,
and it's not a small book, pages, over 45,000 words.
Yeah. So do you have a publishing company too?
Yeah.
Tanya?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So you publish your own books?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, because I'm thinking, okay, I want to go through the whole process. I'm going to do
Yes,
that
ma'am.
part. Now, but you don't do the editing. So you send it off for editing?
No, my company does everything for you. You're going to have to go to my website, loveWinsPub.com.
She's actually
We have
doing a facelift
that
on
will
my
do
book.
everything for you.
Okay.
Her company is re-editing my book, restructuring, doing a facelift. And if I can say anything to anyone out there, you, Tina, you're with the right person, that is looking to write a book or that is writing a book. When you are in the process, make sure that you do your due diligence on the companies that you hire. And, you can be so passionate and so excited about getting this book written because it could be something that God told you to do. But there's processes that go with that you have to be mindful of, or you'll double pay, which is what I'm in the process of doing. And at this point, I'm good. I'm happy that it happened this way because this is how she and I actually connected. And so
Right.
My book is in her hands, her company's hands. We're doing a relaunch on that. I'm currently writing my second book. It's going to go to her company. They're going to do it from start to finish. And so I'm excited about that. But Tanya DeFreitas, her company, her business is the business. So you guys, again, make sure you do your due diligence in any area of your life. If you are going to hire someone, make sure you're hiring someone that has done the job and that has been effective with what they've done. Ask for some of their work. That's okay. It's okay to say, can I see some of your work?
So I'm at the one-stop shop. I'm good. A one-stop shop. We going from start to finish. So do we have any more questions, Ram? Do you see any on your end? What advice? Okay.
Yeah, go ahead. That one.
What advice would she give for financial recovery post COVID-19 financial recovery? Oh, for people like that have lost their jobs from COVID? Is that what we mean, Eric?
Let's say that's what he means. How would you answer that, Tanya?
Honestly, I think that would involve a coaching session to find out exactly what the needs are. To find when you say recovery, there would have to be an assessment of, okay, have you lost your job? Are you receiving unemployment? How much is the unemployment? And you're gonna have to share your business. That's what financial advisors do. We need to know the info so we can help you put it in the right category. It would be, what is your budget? How do your bills come to? How much is your income? And we need to look into expense ratio and figure out what can we cut out. What can we reapply? How can we take some of this money and invest it so you can make some money while you're trying to recover, because you need to be invested so that it can be generating interest. So again, that would take a coaching session to assess exactly where the person is, what the needs are, and then what are the goals. All those are going to play a factor in how to come out of that. And there's going to be a lot of people who need that support and assistance, when we do come out.
Absolutely, I would agree. And one thing I would add to that is, whenever or whoever that you take your coaching session, I know this is one of my pet peeves. Jesus Christ, be honest. If you're not honest, We cannot help you with what your situation is. Oftentimes, people, especially if they semi know you or whatever, they tend to not want to disclose everything, and then they give you half truths, and then you trying to solve a puzzle with 5 pieces missing. It's impossible.
Well, yeah, and you're solving a puzzle, but just not a puzzle, because they're not giving you everything, and so it's not going to work. When you leave from my coaching and you haven't given me all of the information, you have to be willing to be transparent. If you aren't giving me all the information, when you leave here, then you'll say that what I gave you doesn't work, when that's not the truth. You didn't give me everything to actually build from, right? So I gave you what works for those, for what worked for those 3 things you told me, but the other 7.
Yeah. So that would just be my tidbit. Give the full disclosure. If you know, Tanya, how can they? Well, I've been having you roll down on the screen, but how can they reach you if they want to write a book or get some financial advice? Where should they go?
I am on Facebook and I'm also on Instagram. Facebook would probably be the easiest. It's just my name, Tanya. Author Tanya DeFreitas. And I should have said my website is actually the easiest. So my website is www.tanyadefreitas.com.
www. What was it?
TanyaDefreitas.com.
Awesome. Well, this was
they can inbox me. I respond to inboxes. If I can't help them, I send them the right way to go.
Right way to go. Yeah, and that's also very, very good thing too. Like if it's something that you can't do, you're willing to pass it on to somebody who might be an expert in that area. But
I don't know. She left us. But what she was trying to say is, we thank you for the information that you've given and that you've offered for them to contact you and just send you an inbox or something on your email, so that you can advise them according to what they are actually encountering, right? Because it's not a one-size-fits-all situation, this COVID-19. Yes, this is a global, but
I
was like,
this is a global situation, but it's definitely, we definitely also have to make sure that we are tapping into how it's affecting us as individuals. I lost both of y'all, so I just had to.
Yes.
I was lost. I didn't have nothing. It just completely went to the internet. I'm like, wait, what happened? But anyway. Oh my God, but we want to thank you. We coming up on the hour, Miss Tanya. I appreciate you. I will definitely be talking to you later on this week. You did get my email. You said you got it. So yeah, we'll definitely be talking later on. Look, I'm getting mine in. I don't care if y'all don't get y'all's. I'm gonna get mine. Everything that belongs to me, I want it.
No, you guys make sure if there's anything that we can assist you with, make sure you reach out to her, send her an email, go to her website, send her an inbox if you have a question. I know her like that, so I can say this. She will be happy to assist you and then move forward with, business. But this is what these type of forums are for, so that we can be educated on things that we sometimes have no idea about, or we have questions. We don't know who to ask. Sometimes we don't even know if we should ask because we're embarrassed. We're thinking, I'm too old. I should know this information. And if that is you, amen. It's okay. Just make sure that you are tapping into these platforms where we're providing different information that's related to finances, relationships, whatever it is, whatever your situation is. Tap in and be okay, because you're not the only one. Trust me, you're not in this by yourself.
Somebody's sitting there waiting on you to ask the question.
What is the question?
I'm just saying, that's what they sit waiting on somebody else to ask the question.
Definitely.
Yeah,
You are somebody's answered question. Absolutely. Something you said tonight answered somebody's question that they didn't ask, but they wanted to know.
absolutely. Well, Tanya, we thank you for joining us. We appreciate you. We love you, and happy birthday again. We had a whole happy birthday thing
Yeah.
planned to pop
It
on
is
here,
amazing. Yeah.
but she entrusted somebody who is not technically savvy. So, hey, if you got that class coming up, let me know. I'll let you girl. Because I need all of that.
Thank you for having me.
We'll see you next time. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Goodbye, you guys.
Okay, Ram. What the heck? I didn't tell you to go off, Ram. Where are you at? Get your butt back in here. Lord have mercy. You can't. Lord have mercy to people. We trying to help the people. And she signs off. But anyway, you guys, y'all join us next week. Next week we're gonna be talking. We have another financial expert coming on, and then the week after that we have some real juicy stuff. We're gonna be talking about sex. Sex sex. We're gonna make that one real juicy. Young lady coming on, and she's everything sex. And then the week after that, we got Dr. Roland coming on. He's gonna be talking about the real science of this crazy, nasty thing that we're dealing with, COVID. So you guys make sure you come in every week right here at 7 o'clock. Join us at the table where no topic is too heavy or too light. We'll see you next week.